playing with the boys. I'm on my phone today. Because who cares? Playing with the boys. Appetites and sunsets. It's not like there's any toys. Just playing with the boys. Sorry for being late. I was ogling a beautiful, I believe, a woman's body. You never know these days, folks. Man, woman, it could have been a boy, but it certainly looked like a woman. Anywho, Sports Mass Collective, episode 128, as always, just from some obscure, undisclosed location. Nothing ever makes sense here as it should be. Making sense is for losers. I have another jingle I'd like to open with. Sports Collective episode 128, of course. The date, September 24th, the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Herbert Christ, 2025. Here's the other song. Song by a professional, unlike all these other hacks. Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, step right up and beat the Mets. Beat your kitties, beat your wife. They're guaranteed to have a terrible life. Yes, everyone has stepped up and beaten the Mets pretty much for the last 3 months. Oh, she's back. I might have to go to the restroom, if you know what I mean. No, we have to talk about the New York Mets. I was at the last home game. We'll get to the football. We'll get to the Ryder Cup. We'll get to some other crap in a minute. But let's get the baseball out of the way. I went to the Mets' last home game on Sunday. As you know, I'm one of the few people around here who actually leaves their house. Don't base my life around this, no offense. That's why I'm doing it from a cell phone. I don't care to learn about what anyone else is doing. I don't need to. I leave my house. I do a show or two for a couple hours a week, and that's it. You know, it's like when, and I'll get back to the sports. Sports. It's like when you take a picture and people say, "Oh, you're on your phone." Like, you're out there. You're on your phone. You're on your phone. Yeah, but you're out of your house, but you're on your phone. I don't know if you guys have ever taken a picture with a cell phone. Oh, it takes about 2 seconds. So I don't know. Maybe these Mongos take hours to take one picture. When I take a picture, I personally go like this, and then I go back to dealing with people in real life. So I never really understood that argument. Hey, you left your house and you're still on you left your house and you're still on your phone. Yeah, you take a pic. Here's how long it takes to take a picture. Under 1 second, especially if you're an athlete like me. Absolutely, you can take a picture under 1 second. So, oh my God, is she doing this on purpose? I think she's just a big old pair of BFTs hanging out. Just can't get them out of my head. Put them in my head. Yeah, never understood that argument of, but you're out, you take a picture. Yeah, okay. You know what? What's really gay is doing 4-hour podcasts when 3 hours and 45 minutes of it is playing music and watching clips on the internet or other people's shows. But I digress. I went to the Mets' last home game on Sunday, and if there ever were more of a Mets loss, we don't need to cover the whole thing. Just know this. Just know a guy. I forgot. I think Alvarez, who, it doesn't matter. Somebody hit on the Mets, hit the ball, and a guy literally leaped to about to be a home run or at least a double to tie the game. I think take the lead, actually. Definitely to tie. But anyway, grabs the ball, falls out of his glove. He kicks it, literally kicked it back up in the air with his foot and caught the ball for the out. I mean, I have literally never seen that before. And what are the chances of all 32 MLB teams? The one time in my life I've ever seen a guy kick a ball off of his foot into a glove happens to the New York Mets. So they entered yesterday out of the playoffs, not in control of their own destiny. A team that was, I believe, 14 games over 500 at one point. I know June 14th, we were 6.5 up for the division. Not for the wild card. We were 6.5 up for the division. And to go into the, you have a guy, Juan Soto, who's gonna be one of 3 players in history, literally, with the numbers he has, 40 home. He's going to have 40 steals. He has 40 home runs. He has 100 RBIs. He has 100 runs scored. He just needs, I think, 1 or 2 more stolen bases, which he'll get. One of the 3 players in history with those numbers. You have Pete Alonso, who's also going to be over 40 home runs. You have Lindor, who's going to be over 30 runs. And 6.5 up in the division at the end of June, and going into the last week of the season with 6 games left, not in control of their own destiny. It is just, I keep saying it. It's when I talk to anybody that's asked about the Mets. It's unbelievable, yet it's totally believable. The Mets have had a lot of collapses in their history. I would absolutely say if they missed the playoffs, this would be the biggest collapse in the team's history. With the talent they have, with the position they were in at the end of June, excuse me. Well, the biggest collapse in Mets history, which if you know the Mets is saying a lot because they have tons of collapses. Oh. And then they go, so now we have 3 games at Wrigley, started last night. And again, just classic Mets, getting your hopes up. They're down 6-1. They end up winning the game. Massive, if they make the playoffs, season continuing home runs by, just making sure there's not a rodent next to me. By Nimmo, a 3-run home run. They were down 6-1 in the 4th inning. Nimmo hits a 3-run home run to tie it in, I believe, the 6th. And then, of course, Francisco Alvarez, a 2-run home run, top of the 8th, to help the Mets win to 9-7. And the Reds lost last night. So, going into tonight, the Mets are 1 game up on the Reds and the Diamondbacks. They are technically in control of their own destiny, but that means they have to win all. Basically, if they tie with the Reds, they're out because the Reds have the tiebreaker. So they basically have to remain 1 game up. They cannot tie and get in the wild card. And it is just classic, epitomizing Mets. Once again, you think, you ask any Mets fan in June, even in July, as they started to slip, it would be an easy, at least we're not even talking about the World Series, an easy road to the playoffs from where we were. And now, going the last week of the season, literally for now, yes, we're 1 game up again in control for the last wild card spot. But totally deplorable to be in this, anywhere close to this situation. The amazing thing, no pun intended, amazing Mets. The amazing thing is it doesn't matter who the managers are. It doesn't matter who the coaches are. It doesn't matter who the players are. It doesn't matter who the owners are. It's literally the same thing through generations now, eons, decades. Our last World Series was '86, and how many seasons have we blown since then with different players, different talent? I mean, it is unbelievable. It's just constant. Anywho, yes, we are on the phone today. Very low basement level production because as we know, production is gay. Overproduction means lack of talent, of course. I tried to explain to Kevin Brennan last Saturday night when I was half in the bag. Finally, people got a little look at what actual talent on the show looks like, and used to have real comics on that show. Such a shame. And I didn't bite my tongue about anything. I wasn't there to ball wash, nor am we ball washing here, but that's another tale. I'll finally I know I keep saying it, I will finally be doing a SMC, a Classic Ski Mask Collective flagship show on Sunday afternoon, where I have so much to address that I don't like to waste time on the sports show. I like to compartmentalize these shows, but I have so much to discuss. Just as a teaser for Sunday afternoon, I'll talk about Kevin Brennan and being on his show and what's going on that show. I'll talk about the slap in the face given to me by Chrissy and Keanu and the freaks Alex Stein had on. I messaged with Alex Stein the other night. He basically apologized for having those losers on. I took Keanu to task with it on Kevin's show, in case you missed it. I don't care. I don't. Unlike all these current people, it's all works and bullshit. I tell the truth. So, but that's for Sunday afternoon. And we'll go into this more Sunday. But the gist of it, my podcast host died. Who was so nice to so many of these people. Why do I still have this in my fucking ear? I don't know why I still have that in my ear. This is the show. This is how much. I don't care. My mouth speaks for itself. Has anyone said that before? That's true. Hold on. Sip of the Celsius, of course. Oh my God. I haven't even. And you know what? It's slow season. Post Labor Day, I always take it easy for a couple weeks. I still go to the gym because I'm not a fat, disgusting slob like most of these people. But it's mostly cardio, just upkeep for a couple weeks. Let the dad bod come in a bit until we start the ascending mountain back up to the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Stance Athletics body that everyone witnessed this summer. People just can't get enough of it. But that's neither here nor in my ass. Another thing on baseball before we move on. This may be a quicker show since I'm not on the thing and I got things to do. And as always here at Ski Mask Media, I talk until there's nothing to talk about and then I stop, which a lot of these shows should take notes on. If you don't have anything to talk about, besides the same shit over and over again, don't do a show. That's why I haven't done SMC in many weeks now. The last one I did was from my car. The last Ski Mask Collective I did was from my car on the drive up to the Content Hotel. And I didn't really get to much then because I was ranting about driving. But my point is, I haven't done it because I keep notes. I keep a little notepad on my phone. And when that fills up, I do a show. Sports is easy this time of year, especially. Because we have the NFL, we have the baseball playoffs, whatever. And I kept that going all off season as well. I'm not gonna. Nobody should do a show if they have nothing to talk about. There's no reason to do a show 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Absolutely no reason. Unless you have half a brain cell, which not many of the people that watch these shows, not you people, the people that watch those shows are clearly low IQ. Clearly they're here to farm your views and farm the money out of you more than anything, where I could care less. I do this from my phone. I think I've sent one tweet out about it. When I do it on the computer, here's a little peek behind the curtain. When you do this show from a computer, on StreamYard, it streams simultaneously to whatever you want. So I still have this settings that my dead podcast partner set up, um, which is it streams to obviously YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter. When you do it from your phone, it only goes straight to YouTube. So, not that I give a shit. As I always said, I'll do this for 0 people, which is what I used to do, and still almost do. It's unbelievable. Um, but yes, usually when I do it from the computer, we usually get triple-digit views at most points at least. So who cares? Anywho. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna just quit podcasting altogether because, well, again, this is more a conversation for the show on Sunday, but basically everything sucks. All these people suck. They're not entertaining. I'm not gonna have people on just because they get views. I don't find these people entertaining at all. I don't find them talented at all. They don't talk about anything. They all talk about the same people over and over again. Yeah, all these podcasts suck. So we'll talk about that Sunday. Hold on, folks. Please hold. Da, 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 da. You know, the irony is that I had to step away to I stepped away for so long because I was talking sports with my delivery guy. That's a real podcaster, folks. Not even, that's a real man, a real all American athlete. I literally got caught in a conversation about how the Mets drive us crazy every year with a real person in the real world wearing the same hat I have. And that's how you do that. So, anywho, nobody cares anyway, do you? I don't think you care. I have a computer here. Oh, it's like big budget. Oh, I got a computer to my side. This is what all these other people do, right? They look at that. Oh, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. What is Keanu doing? What is Steel Day up to? Faggot! Anywho, let's just get to the picks and get the fuck out of here because I don't really care. But let's go around the league real quick. They're bringing the ABS system into baseball next year, by the way. I talked about this on the show a couple weeks ago. If you're a loyal Stancelite, how ridiculous it is. I do believe there should be parity. I think sorry, that was a rodent. I think balls and strikes in MLB baseball and baseball in general, I'm actually okay with subjectivity being involved. So I'm actually against this ABS. You're going to be able to essentially challenge balls and strikes next year in Major League Baseball, which, I mean, how anticlimactic. If you thought challenges at the end of NFL games was anticlimactic, wait till you get a big strikeout, one of the most dramatic moments in sports, baseball, big game strikeouts. And you're going to have to then hold on so they can check if it was a ball or a strike. I ranted about this weeks ago, so I'm not going to go all into it, but I hate it. I think balls and strikes should be subjective. Like I said in my rant the other week, I'm okay with it. If a guy is going for a perfect game or no hitter or just whatever, and the umpire gives him a strike, fine. Okay? If a team is down by 10 runs and the umpire decides to call a ball a strike, fine. If the team is chirping the umpire game being a dick, the pitcher's being a dick, and he calls a strike a ball, fine. Now they shouldn't be calling balls 6 inches out of the strike zone strikes or in the strike zone ball. You know what I mean? But there's also things in place for that. Umpires get docked for poor games. I disagree with this ABS pitch challenging thing. It's another step towards just having computers run all these sports. It's stupid and silly. But anywho, who cares? Kelsey got paid $20 million by Pfizer to promote the vaccine, by the way. I know one guy who still never got a vaccine. I know one guy who never wore a mask. I know one guy who still thinks for himself and doesn't not only buy into that political bullshit, but also doesn't watch these terrible shows. Because I don't just watch them to watch it. Yeah. It's wonderful being a free thinker, which is what all the Stancelites are out there. God bless you all. I mean, the same old Jets. Who gives a shit about the Jets? Classic Jets loss. Tie the game on a very momentous field goal block, return for a touchdown. Unbelievable, great. And then turn around and blow it very quickly. By the way, the Jets blew that game on Sunday the same time that guy kicked the ball into his glove at the Mets game I was at. The guy next to me had the Jets game on his phone, and we were both just shaking our heads because, again, I left my house and talked to people. Anywho, I told you the Eagles-Rams was going to be game of the week last week. It was. Stancil-Stradamus again. Don't bow to false idols. Only respect the one and true God in sports. known as Jim Stansel-Stradamus, the Aristotle of athletics, the Socrates of sport, the Nostradamus of national pastime, Jim Stansel-Stradamus. I told you the Eagles-Rams last week were going to be the game of the week, and absolutely was, as the Eagles score 26 unanswered points in the second half and beat the Rams, who are proving to be them in the one of the great teams, the NFC, which I told you. So again, nothing new. Blah blah blah. Let's just get through this. Get the fuck out of here, because I don't want to wait. Like all these other fucking losers that broadcast, I'm not going to waste your time. Yeah. Let's take a look at the standings going into week 4. See if anything interesting. Bills are running away with the division. The Patriots are in second place with 1 win, and the Jets and the Dolphins, who play on Monday night. What a debacle! What an embarrassment that's going to be for the Jets to embarrass themselves on national TV on Monday night. That's going to be great. Both 0-3. Chargers 3-0. Not a big surprise there. I told you that. The Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos all at 1-2. You know the Chiefs will win some games, but I do think it's looking like the glory days are over in Chiefland. Now they are just a regular. I put it this way: they're not. They don't. The Chiefs don't stink, but they are now a regular good team. They are no longer the juggernaut of days of yore. They started that road last year, and it is apparent now. The weapons are getting older. The defense isn't as good as it used to be. So I think the Chiefs will be a wild card. I think the Chargers are going to run away with that division. The AFC North, the Bengals 2-1, Steelers 2-1, Ravens 1-2. Another tough loss for them. And the Browns 1-2. Who cares? I think the Ravens still take that division, but I told you the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers. Oh, lo and behold, a Hall of Fame quarterback can play. I think it's going to be the Steelers-Ravens, and those are going to be fun divisional games down the stretch. The AFC South, it's going to be the Colts and the Jags. C.J. Stroud has taken a huge step back after his Rookie of the Year season. I told you again, Stansel-Stradamus. What else is new? Somebody who actually watches and plays sports, knows more about sports than all the talking heads on ESPN and the bearded neck dragons that work at Barstool. I told you before the season, Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are having a comeback year. Trevor Lawrence dealing with injuries the last 2 years. He's still a good quarterback, maybe a great quarterback. And the Colts are just riding that hot streak with Daniel Jones. And their great run game and good coaching. And the Titans are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Let's take a look at the NFC now. The Eagles 3-0, of course. The Commanders 2-1, but Jaden Daniels injured. Cowboys aren't going anywhere. Giants obviously aren't going anywhere. Giants starting Jackson Dart, huge mistake. Let me tell you why. And I talked about this in shows past. Here's the Giants' upcoming schedule. Okay? First of all, they play the Chargers this Sunday. And the Giants, I told you before the year, had one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. So you're going to have this rookie, if he does play. I don't know if it's official yet. You heard all these rumblings. I don't really care. I have too much to do. This is why you don't start Jackson Dart. You have the Chargers. Then you have the Eagles. Sorry, I'm looking at it wrong. You have the Chargers. Then you have the Saints. Saints is where he should start, if anything, because that's a team that they could actually beat. Maybe they're one team they could beat for a long time. So the Giants have Chargers, then Saints, then Eagles, then Broncos at Denver, then Eagles again, then 49ers, then Bears, who don't look great, then Packers, then Lions, then Patriots, then Commanders, then Vikings, then Raiders, and Cowboys again. I don't know why you would want to put your rookie quarterback through this. I think it's an asinine thing. I think let him play behind Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is going to be an absolute nightmare on the bench playing behind a rookie. He is not that kind of quarterback. So if you think the Jets are a mess, you don't have to look far to find a team who's trying to beat them and being just a total joke of a franchise that play in the same stadium. I am convinced the Meadowlands and Citi Field, Shea Stadium, are built on Native American burial grounds. It's the only way to explain the constant sorrow. So the Eagles will run away with the NFC East. The Commanders with a healthy Jaden Daniels I thought would be interesting. It seems like it's going to be on and off all year, unfortunately. So that's going to be an easy division for the Eagles. The NFC West, the 49ers are still 3-0. I've told you for years I don't believe in Brock Purdy. He's a game manager at best, and now he's injured or going to be dealing with an injury. The Cardinals stink. The Seahawks stink. I think that's going to be, even though the Rams are 2-1, the Niners are 3-0 right now. I think the Rams are going to end up running away with that division. NFC North, you got the Packers and the Vikings at 2-1, and the Lions all 2-1. There's your interesting division in the NFC. And the NFC South is just a total toilet bowl after a shit in it. The Bucks 3-0, who I told you I was high on going into the year, and then you have Panthers, Falcons, and Saints all Panthers, Falcons 1-2, Saints 0-3, and I think the Panthers are actually much worse than the Saints. So yeah, although I do like Michael Penix Jr. Anyway, who cares? Let's do the picks and let's get the fuck out of here because I don't care. And then we'll reconvene on Sunday for the first real Ski Mask Collective in a while, where I have a lot to cover and a lot of shit to talk and a lot of air to clear that I've been biting my tongue on this show. I've been giving you little teasers, but a lot to talk about on our flagship show that my dead co-host made that now none of these other fucking people care about him. Have done anything for me whatsoever since my podcast host died, and I am not going to go quietly into the night. I'm going to be very loud about it. I don't care if they all unfriend me. I have real life friends, but I will not take it lightly in the name of Ski Mask forever. I will not be silent about the mistreatment I've been giving, as all of these hacks, not just Kevin, many others who I'll name Sunday, have grifted off of his death and saying this and that, and then have done absolutely nothing about it afterwards. But anyhow, here we go. Let's just get it over with. Who gives a fuck? Seahawks at Cardinals. Terrible game. Seahawks minus 1.5. Give me the Cardinals at home. That's tonight or tomorrow night. Terrible Thursday night game. Vikings at Steelers from Dublin. Another ridiculous money grab by Goodell to sell a couple jerseys. The Minnesota's minus 2.5. Give me the Steelers plus the 2.5. Love that line. With an injured, if he's even playing, J.J. McCarthy. I'm on my phone today, folks, so the lowest budget as you're gonna get. No music, no nothing. Sorry, Daddy has a real life he has to tend to. I make money in the real world, so I don't have to make money here. I would love to make money. I really like to make money in the Patreon, where Patreon.com Ski Mask Media. The other night, September 11th, if you missed it, it's on the Patreon. I got hammered and ran around Times Square asking people if they're gay and ranting about the country. Honestly, I told you this before. This show, Sports Mask and Ski Mask Collective, is going to be free. But I've been putting the actual good shit on the Patreon going forward because I've lost all respect for many of the viewers around here. I don't deserve to be given away for free. So Patreon.com Ski Mask Media for $3 measly if you want to actually watch stuff. That's where to give the money. For $36 a year, you too can raise an All-American athlete. Commanders at Falcons, Washington minus 1.5. Give me the Falcons on the bounce back at home, plus the 1.5. Saints at Bills, Buffalo minus 16.5. I hate that it's over 2 touchdowns, no matter the matchup. I just hate that 16 and a hook because you always worry about the backdoor cover when they're blowing them out. And the losing team is airing out the ball, getting those late touchdowns. So the Bills are at home with the biggest loser fan base in all of sports. And not a lot of. I'm the only one who talks about how the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo fans in general are the lowest class people in all of sports. I'm the only one in the sports game that talks about it because they all love sucking off Josh Allen and the Bills. But I don't owe any of you anything, nor anybody in sports anything, and I know sports better. And I've seen the freakish fans that are fans of Buffalo Bills covering themselves in condiments, throwing children downstairs, and throwing each other through tables. So just to spite them, I'll take the Saints plus the 16.5. Browns at Lions, another shitty game. The only thing making it interesting is the Lions are minus 9.5. I'm still taking the Lions minus a 9.5. I'm not scared of the backdoor cover. The Browns stink. Titans at Texans, another shithole game. Texans minus 7. I have to take the Texans here. 7 no hook is what I have. CJ Stroud's got to get back on the lam at some time, and they're at home. Panthers at Patriots. Wow, how many shitty... Wow, this is a panel of shitty games this week, folks. If you're ever to be busy on a Sunday, if you have to miss a Sunday, this is the Sunday to miss early in the season with these slate of terrible matchups. Panthers at the Patriots. Patriots minus 5.5. Give me the Patriots. Panthers might be the worst team in the league. Chargers at Giants. Chargers minus 6.5. Not even a touchdown. This is the easy. This might be the lock of the week. Chargers minus 6.5 against possibly Jackson Dart's first start. Easy money there, folks, to the Chargers minus 6.5. Eagles at Buccaneers. This is looking like one of the few interesting matchups of the week. Philly minus 3.5. I like the Buccaneers with an upset here. Giving the Eagles their first loss of the year. Give me the Bucs plus the 3.5 at home. Maybe the Eagles win by that field goal coming down the stretch. But I think this is going to be one of the few games worth watching in this week 4 because all these games fucking suck. Jags at 49ers. San Francisco minus 3. Give me the Jags plus the 3. They make a statement here. They show they're for real this year. And they move to, 4-0 or 3-1? Ravens at Chiefs, interesting on paper, I guess. I guess this is an interesting game just because of the matchups from days of yore. Baltimore favored by 2.5 on the road. Can you believe that? With all the Chiefs' legacy, I'm going to take the Baltimore minus the 2.5 here on the road. I think this is the game the Chiefs lose that drives it home to everyone else who doesn't watch this show that the Chiefs are not what they used to be. Obviously, you here at the Stance of Life and the Sports Mask heads know that because I've been telling you that. But this is the one where they're going to, all the idiot talking heads on ESPN next week are all going to be, can the Chiefs do something? Are the Chiefs done? Can Carmick do a podcast? Same people, basically. Bears at Raiders. Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Raiders minus 1.5. Give me Raiders and Genty. Just feed Genty the ball like you did last week, like I told you to. Again, Stancil Stradamus, and they'll be fine. Packers at Cowboys. Packers stink. Cowboys stink. Packers may be one of the best teams in the league. Packers minus 7. No hook. Give me the Packers minus the 7. Easy. Jets at Dolphins. Miami's favored by 2.5. They're home. Let the Jets get their win here. Give me the Jets plus the 2.5. 2 games Monday night. And then the late game, Bengals at Broncos. An interesting game in that they're similar level teams. Not an interesting game in that they're not sexy at all. Give me the Broncos. The Broncos are minus 7.5 at home. I'm still taking it. Give me the Broncos minus 7.5. Yes, this was probably one of the worst shows. It maybe makes it one of the best shows because I can't tell what you people like. You people all watch terrible shows all week. So maybe this is good. I mean, I don't know. The thing this is why I might quit. I'll talk about it on Ski Mask Collective Sunday. I may be done with all of this because essentially the meek haven't inherited the podcast earth. That's the best way I can put it. The meek have inherited the podcast earth. And I think I kind of get it in that losers like watching other losers. Or like people like me like watching people with actual skill. So maybe you like this. Maybe you like terrible shows, which is what it seems like from the people that you give money to day in and day out. Anywho, but to you loyal supporters, we continue to have a great time. I continue to be right about everything, by the way. If you just pay attention, it's really unbelievable what's happening out here. Shout out to the patrons. That's where the real shows are. That's where I put all the good shit now because these freeloading, tasteless losers don't deserve me. And keep an eye out for Sunday afternoon. Probably doing bringing Ski Mask Collective back to cover all of the wrongs that I've been given over the last month that I've been keeping score of and keeping tabs of. And I will not be silent. Like I said, I will not go quietly into the night. I will talk about the slights I've been giving since Ski Mask has died. Since now I'm only one man. Ski Mask was very loud and essentially they sucked us both dry for all they could, and now they've moved on to these inherent losers. So I don't care. Or maybe I won't do a show Sunday. Maybe I'll just quit because I just don't. I'm finding it harder. Well, this is fun, but I don't care about any of these shit shows. These dabble shit shows. They're all terrible. And it's all just hack bullshit, like literally childish levels of entertainment. Guys dancing and playing sound effects. Like, I'm not lowering myself to that level, nor am I having any of these losers on this show. Like even Kevin has done, which I took him to task late last Saturday night. So, anywho, that's it. Goodbye. I don't give a